What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So I want to address something really quick that I saw this update and I thought this is absolutely ridiculous. But then when I started putting the pieces together, started reading more reports, looking at different interviews and articles and stories, and then I started to really feel that this is crazy. What we are hearing is that Democrats plotted against themselves for the stimulus package because they had a bigger and a more ulterior motive. But here's what we are now hearing. And again, I've read multiple reports over the past week. I've read dozens of stories that are putting all this stuff together. And I want to explain what is being said by a few senators who, well, for obvious reasons, want to go unnamed. But according to multiple reports that have been coming out over the past couple of weeks, the reason why the Build Back Better Act didn't pass is not because it didn't have the initial support at $1.75 trillion. According to multiple reports, there were the votes necessary to pass the Build Back Better Act at $1.75 trillion. But what we were hearing back when this was being discussed is progressives wanted the moderates to vote on the Build Back Better Act, and moderates wanted the progressives to vote on the $1.2 trillion bipartisan infrastructure bill. Well, moderates got their ask. And guess what? One of the reasons why they are saying that the Build Back Better Act didn't pass is because it would have taken the leverage away from the Democratic Party. Now you're probably thinking, wait, didn't they have all the leverage that they needed already? What more leverage did they need? Well, here is what is being said. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, he still wants the Build Back Better Act to pass, but he also wants to do away with the filibuster because he wants to get other pieces of legislation included. Now, the list seriously goes on and on. The amount of stuff, mainly for New York, is insane. But here's what happened. So for Democrats pushing a large social spending bill, what they knew was going to happen was at least one Democrat would oppose. Chances are it was going to be Senator Joe Manchin because he always had his eye on the national deficit. I addressed this the other day, how there are multiple reports that state that Senator Joe Manchin's office sends him a text message every single morning to tell him how much our national deficit went up overnight. Now, here's why this was so big. When Senator Joe Manchin opposed the Build Back Better Act, it then pushed the talks towards a filibuster reform. That's exactly what Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer was wanting. The only problem here is that Senator Joe Manchin not only opposed the Build Back Better Act, he not only opposed increasing the national deficit, he also didn't oppose anything that might contribute to increased inflation, but he also opposed the filibuster reform. And the entire plan at that point was scrapped. So, this is why this whole thing, you think, oh, this is like a movie. You can't make this up. Seriously, I was trying to figure out, is this true? Now, in a story that was published today and one that was actually published yesterday as well, one lawmaker is calling this idiotic. Others say that they simply fell into the trap. One Senate aide said that many were frustrated over a lack of movement and wanted to see something. And multiple progressives have stated that they will not bend to moderates ever again. Again, I'm trying to put this all into perspective for you. It's insane. This story, it doesn't seem like it's just a story. This seems like this is actually what is going on. And so here's where we stand right now. And this is one of the reasons why this is just absolutely ridiculous. Campaign experts believe that Democrats are going to lose the House and Senate majority during the midterm elections. This is probably not any new news. I think a lot of people are predicting this. But They're saying that the losses will be so great that the Senate could possibly be a 60% Republican majority, which means they would have a filibuster-proof majority. You only need 60%. Now, what we were hearing before was lawmakers, okay, most likely Democratic lawmakers, the stories didn't specify who, but lawmakers were predicting they were going to lose so heavy in this upcoming midterm election that it didn't matter if they just pretty much got rid of the filibuster or not, because Republicans would have the majority in the next 2 years, or for the next 2 years. That's what we are hearing. So, according to the reports, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer wanted to do away with the filibuster because that would provide a win for Democrats, which then they could potentially hold the majority in the House. The Senate would most likely go Republican. They'd still have some power, and then it wouldn't be where Republicans are sending every single bill to President Biden just for him to veto. Now, this year, just to give you an idea, I believe for this year it's Class 3 senators that are up for re-election. And they're split into different classes, but anyway, I'm not getting into that. But I believe it's like 34 or 35 senators that are up for re-election this year. So if just 1/3 of those seats are transferred and are then go Republican, so Republicans only need 10 additional seats from what they currently have to have a filibuster-proof majority in the Senate, and that's where things get very interesting. But experts are predicting that we will finally, what we will finally have soon is we will have answers. But experts also predict that we really have until the rest of this year, the rest of this Congress, to pass any meaningful legislation. Because what is most likely going to occur over the next 2 years is we are most likely going to have a lame duck session. Meaning, Republicans will pretty much have Congress. They'll most likely have the House and the Senate. Democrats will still have the Oval Office. They will have the presidency, which means Republicans will most likely, and again, this is a campaign. This is just a game, okay, a political game. We're going to see this if this happens, and you can quote me on this. I've seen it before. Republicans are going to send all the really important bills to President Biden to see him veto these. Here's the reason why. Because if these are more bills for the American people, more money, more whatever, right? More things to really help businesses and the economy and inflation, all this stuff, right? If we see Republicans send all these bills to President Biden's desk and he has to veto every single one of them because, well, that doesn't go with his beliefs. He doesn't like that idea. That's not what Democrats stand for. Guess what? Republicans and whoever the new president may be, or okay, I don't want to say new president, whoever the Republican nominee is going to be, they are going to push that, and they're going to try to get or win the presidency in the next election. So, what we're hearing right now is the game plan from Democrats completely blew up. This is not at all what they were predicting. But what I'm here to tell you is all the reports, all the stories, they seem to add up. That Democrats, or some, did plot against themselves for the stimulus package because they had a bigger, more grand idea that would have passed more for the American people, the economy, and for themselves. So, I know it's a crazy update, but that is what we are hearing at this point. But let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Do you think this is true? Now, I can tell you right now, there are many pieces of this that look absolutely 100% true. Now, do we know exactly what Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer was thinking? No. Do we know exactly what his plans were? No. Do I expect we will ever know? Probably not. But as of right now, this seems like it is absolutely true. But let me know what your thoughts are down in the comment section below. Again, when I was reading this and putting all the pieces together, my mind was just absolutely blown. But that's what we know at this time. Again, as always, as I know more, I promise I'll come back on and share all latest news and updates. Just want to thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.